you do as Commander-in-Chief if the U.S. military refused to carry out those orders?
They won't refuse. They're not going to refuse me, believe me.
But they're illegal.
In light of Donald Trump's victories Tuesday night, let's not just allow this one to be shoveled under the rug, because I, for one, refuse to forget there is a man who wants to be my president who showed no common sense in knowing what a war crime is. I'm the proud son of a military veteran. My dad served his time and then some in the U.S. Army and proudly wore that uniform each and every day. He was always prepped on a second's notice to carry out his oath to America and its citizens. He was ready and prepared to protect his family and the people of this country. But he would never carry out an illegal order, ever. And that is something we as Americans should demand of our soldiers each and every day. The military professional's obligation, not choice, obligation, to disobey an illegal order is an important and critical check and balance in the execution of national policy. Donald Trump tells us he's incredibly intelligent. Let's take him at his word. Some people believe him without question, which shows either supreme trust or shocking judgment, for no one should ever be trusted without question. As somebody seeking to represent this nation around the world, he has an obligation to the citizens and the reputation of this country, every day being the shining beacon of democracy and the rule of law.
You look at the Middle East, they're chopping off heads. They're chopping off the heads of Christians and anybody else that happens to be in the way. They're drowning people in steel cages. And now we're talking about waterboarding.
Trump is correct when he talks about what the verminous enemy of the civilized world is doing. They are chopping off heads, drowning people in steel cages. Let's not forget teaching their kids to execute human beings. But this is America. This is the United States. This is the nation that every single second of every single day has to stand up and be counted as the leader, not only in how we deal with these cretins, but doing it within the law. Because after all, do we not always talk about being the nation that has laws which benefit mankind? Are we not the nation that constantly prides itself on being better than the evil around us, providing guidance to a disturbed world in how to deal with enemies, but at the same time not wallowing in the same gutter as they do?
They then came to me, what do you think of waterboarding? I said, it's fine. And if we want to go stronger, I'd go stronger too. Because frankly, that's the way I feel. Can you imagine these people, these animals over in the Middle East that chop off heads, sitting around talking and seeing that we're having a hard problem with waterboarding? We should go for waterboarding, and we should go tougher than waterboarding.
But targeting terrorist families?
And I'm a leader. I've always been a leader. I've never had any problem leading people. If I say do it, they're going to do it. That's what leadership is all about.
Even targeting terrorist families.
Waterboarding is illegal under international law. It's a crime. It doesn't work. The Senate Intelligence Committee, comprised of a bipartisan group, issued a definitive report in 2014 finding that waterboarding is a waste of time. All right, I hear you tuning up. We're dealing with a cruel and inhumane enemy, and we need to use every imaginable tool at our disposal to defeat them. That is not America. That is not what this nation stands for. That is not how we should be conducting ourselves and presenting ourselves to the world at large. Aren't we better than that? Shouldn't we be better than that? Do we not present ourselves around the world as the leader in laws that we tell people apply to everybody? That being the case, do we not have a moral obligation to abide by those laws at all times, not when they seem convenient? Convenient is something Donald Trump excels at, like so many other politicians and promisers who seek to snow job Americans with bluster and buffoonery. He's not the first, and he won't be the last. Because throughout history, when we are confronted with choices such as we are at this moment, we all too often fall for one well-worn and badly used line.
I'm a leader. I've always been a leader. I've never had any problem leading people. If I say do it, they're going to do it. That's what leadership is all about.
No, it's not. True leadership is about knowing of which you speak before you open your mouth, seeking to lead those around you to greater heights in every aspect of life, which includes morally and within the law of man and God. I am amused every time somebody sends me an email saying, I hate Donald Trump. I don't hate him, but I am unabashedly a strong supporter of the military and law enforcement, seeking to eradicate our enemies here and abroad, honoring my dad and those who have proudly worn those uniforms, doing it within the law, doing it to bring honor to that flag in this nation. Something any person who wants to be president should understand and embrace before they make statements, leaving many to question if they have the temperament and the intelligence to lead this nation. And that is telling it like it is. You answer back, I'll talk to you as well. Rock on, true believers. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night, right back here on the fastest 60 minutes in news. This is The Hard Line.